Week 5 of the fantasy football season. Here's a few kickers I would have add off the wire this week. The first kicker, Cam Little of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Cam Little so far, he's been solid in the early going this season for this Jaguar team. They're 3-1, and they're a team that has trouble finding the end zone. So right now he's out there in 64% of fantasy leagues. In the last couple games, week 2 at Cincinnati, 9 fantasy points. Week 3, a down game versus Houston, 5. And then week 4 at San Francisco, he had a 44-yarder, 27-yarder, and 2 extra points. Week 5 versus Kansas City Monday night. They know they got to put points on the board in this one. Cam Little, we know in the preseason, hit a 70-yarder, so his boot is unlimited. And like I said, I know he had a couple down games here and there, but with his unlimited potential kicking the football up to 70 yards, and in an offense that stalls out a lot, especially with their 2 main wide receivers not doing much this season, I think Cam Little is a solid add this week. Next kicker, Spencer Schrader of the Indianapolis Colts. I don't know what it's going to take for him to be owned in over 50% of fantasy leagues. Right now, he's out there still in 59% of fantasy leagues as Schrader. And the first month of the season, every game, double-digit fantasy points. And this week, a great matchup versus the Vegas Raiders for most fantasy points to kickers on the season, where Schrader is going to go out there, get opportunities. Back home is his Colt team after 2 games on the road. And he's a kicker. 50-plus yards isn't a problem for him. I know league-wide that 50-plus yards is nothing nowadays. We're seeing guys going out there 55, 60-yarders and making it look easy. So like I said, he's in an offense that's moving the football a whole lot, storming out a lot as well. But like I said, with his 55-plus yard ability and playing indoors, he's definitely a great add this week. Is rated next kicker, Matt Gay of the Washington Commanders. So Matt Gay, he's going to get opportunities week in and week out. In the last 2 weeks, he's gone out there and had monster games at the kicking position. Week 3 versus Vegas, 46-yarder, a 55-yarder, 5 extra points. And then week 4 at Atlanta, 31-yarder, 34-yarder, 37-yarder, and a 54-yarder and an extra point. So he's got a big boot. He's Matt Gay. He's in an offense that's going to put points on the board. And the good thing is, well, now they got a matchup with the Chargers, where the Chargers are bend but don't break type of defense. And now Jaden Daniels back in the offense, where obviously that just improves everything this week. And also Terry McLaurin is trending in the right way, where he might play in this game as well. So with those factors and Gay playing well of late over the last couple weeks, and he has a big boot and going indoors in Los Angeles, he's definitely a kicker to add this week, and he's available in 83% of fantasy leagues. Next kicker, Joshua Carty of the Los Angeles Rams. I mentioned Carty last week on the list, and once again, he went out there in week 4, had a double-digit fantasy day with 10 fantasy points, 37-yarder, 46-yarder, and 3 extra points in that ball game. So week 5 could be a potential high-scoring game. Thursday night, NFC West matchup versus San Francisco 49ers coming to town. Carty out there in tons of fantasy leagues, 93%. And anytime you're in a high-powered offense with guys like Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Stafford, and Kyron Williams, that football is going to be in the red zone more times than not. And like I said, nowadays, these kickers range 55, 60 yards isn't a problem for majority of the league. So Carty definitely an add this week. And the final kick I looked at off the wire is the veteran Nick Folk of the New York Jets. He's been in the league 18 seasons now, is Nick Folk. And he still got it. We saw on Monday night a 58-yarder. He hit no problem, is Nick Folk. And so far to start the year, 3 out of 4 games, double-digit fantasy points. So week 5, it's a matchup versus the Dallas Cowboys. He was with for many seasons to start his career was Nick Folk. So like I said, Folk, he's going to get opportunities. This offense stalls out a whole lot, even though versus this Dallas Cowboy team, they could put touchdowns on the board where they can't stop anyone. But like I said, Nick Folk still has it, even at 40 years old. 50-plus yards isn't a problem for him. And opportunities are going to be out there weekly for him to put points on the board with a Jet offense that stalls out a whole lot. And he's available in 99% of fantasy leagues. That's a few kickers I looked at off the wire for week 5 of the fantasy football season.